This video is a work of fiction and just for fun. It is not intended to hurt anyone. The following video is a head shave fantasy story for people who are hair fetish.
Varun was engaged to Padmini. However, Padmini, known for her striking beauty and arrogance, breaks off the engagement, citing Varun's lack of emotional connection and due to her own arrogance, thinking he does not deserve a beauty like her. Padmini's family, tired of her arrogance and hurt by her decision, decides to teach her a lesson. Padmini's family hatches a plan to reduce her conceit about her beauty. They convince her to accompany them to a famous temple under the pretext of fulfilling a religious vow. Padmini, unaware of their true intentions, reluctantly agrees. As they reach the temple, the atmosphere is filled with the fragrance of incense and the chants of devotees, creating a serene yet intense ambience. Inside the temple, the family approaches the head priest, who is in on the plan. He nods solemnly, signaling the temple barber, an elderly man with years of experience in traditional rituals. The family leads Padmini to a secluded part of the temple where the barber waits, his straight razor gleaming in the dim light. Padmini, sensing something amiss, begins to protest.
Her mother, her voice filled with determination, says, "Padmini, your arrogance has blinded you. Today, you will learn humility and the true meaning of beauty."
Her father, his voice steady yet firm, adds, "This is for your own good, Padmini. You have to understand that true beauty lies within." Padmini, realizing the gravity of the situation, struggles as tears stream down her face. The barber, with a calm demeanor, gestures for her to sit down. The family surrounds her, preventing any escape. The atmosphere is thick with tension and anticipation. With a heavy heart, Padmini reluctantly sits on the worn wooden stool, her eyes wide with a mixture of fear and disbelief. The atmosphere is thick with tension, the only sounds being the distant chants of devotees and the rhythmic clang of the temple bell. The temple barber, an elderly man with a calm, stoic demeanor, prepares his tools with meticulous precision. His straight razor gleams ominously in the dim light, casting sharp reflections that dance on the stone walls. Padmini's long, luscious hair, a symbol of her pride and beauty, cascades down her back like a dark waterfall. Her family stands around her, their expressions a blend of determination and sorrow. The air is filled with the faint scent of jasmine from the temple offerings, adding a poignant contrast to the gravity of the moment. The barber, with hands steady from years of ritualistic practice, places a firm but gentle hand on Padmini's shoulder, signaling her to tilt her head forward. Padmini's breath quickens, her chest rising and falling in rapid succession. Her heart pounds in her ears, drowning out the distant temple chants. Without warning, the barber lifts a large brass bucket filled with water, its surface shimmering under the temple lights. He tilts it over Padmini's head, and the cool water cascades down, soaking her hair and drenching her scalp. The sudden rush of water sends a shiver through Padmini, the sensation both startling and strangely soothing. The water trickles down her face, mixing with her tears, creating rivulets that run down her neck. The barber then takes a fresh blade, carefully inserting it into his straight razor. The metallic click of the blade snapping into place echoes softly, adding to the sensory tapestry of the moment. He approaches Padmini, his movements deliberate and measured. As he places the razor against her wet scalp, a bead of water slides down the blade, glistening in the dim light. The first stroke is slow and precise. The razor glides effortlessly through her wet hair, the sharp blade making a soft, almost hypnotic scraping sound. Thick strands of hair, now heavy with water, fall to the ground with a satisfying thud. The sound is almost rhythmic, each stroke creating a pattern of wet, dark locks on the stone floor. Padmini's sobs, raw and heart-wrenching, fill the air, mingling with the sacred chants echoing through the temple halls.
Her grandmother steps forward, her eyes filled with a mix of empathy and resolve. Her voice, though gentle, carries the weight of generations of wisdom. "Padmini," she says, her tone unwavering, "this is a lesson in humility. Your beauty will grow back, but your character must be nurtured now."
The scene is intense, every stroke of the razor symbolizing a step towards Padmini's transformation. The temple barber, his face a mask of concentration, works with swift, practiced motions. The razor glides effortlessly over Padmini's scalp, the remaining strands of her hair falling away like autumn leaves. The temple's solemn ambience amplifies the ritual's gravity, the sacred space bearing silent witness to Padmini's humbling experience. With each pass of the razor, Padmini's sobs gradually quiet into soft, resigned whimpers. The barber's movements, though methodical, carry a certain reverence, as if acknowledging the significance of the act. The family watches in silence, their stern expressions softening as they see the transformation unfolding before their eyes. As the last of Padmini's hair falls to the ground, the barber wipes her scalp with a damp cloth, removing the final trace traces of her once glorious mane. Padmini sits there, bald and vulnerable, her face streaked with tears. Her family steps closer, their presence a mix of support and silent admonishment.
Padmini's mother kneels beside her, gently lifting her daughter's chin to meet her gaze. Now, she whispers, her voice thick with emotion, you are ready to see the world with new eyes, free from arrogance and filled with compassion.
The temple, now echoing with a profound silence, seems to hold its breath. Padmini, humbled and repentant, bows her head in acceptance. The family, their expressions now filled with a quiet pride, leads her away from the stool. The ritual, though harsh, has stripped away not just her hair, but her conceit and arrogance. Meanwhile, Varun, who learns of the family's actions, respects their decision and sees a changed Padmini.